We can't rely on Russia to protect us anymore, Armenian PM says.
Here's a summary of the article.
Yerevan, Russia's catastrophic invasion of Ukraine means Armenia can no longer rely on Moscow as a guarantor of its security, even as fears grow of a return to open conflict with Azerbaijan, Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan told Politico in an interview. Disillusion in Yerevan could represent a major turning point for the country of 2.8 million people, as it has delegated much of the control of its railways, its energy sector and even its borders to Russia after the collapse of the USSR. When Armenia fought a 44-day war against the stronger, Turkish-backed forces of Azerbaijan in 2020, a conflict that killed thousands on each side, it was Russian peacekeepers that were deployed to maintain a ceasefire. Now Russia is fully committed to fighting in Ukraine. Fears are growing in Yerevan over whether President Vladimir Putin's soldiers are willing or able to keep the peace in the Caucasus. As a result of the events in Ukraine, the capabilities of Russia have changed, Pashinyan said, acknowledging that Moscow was seeking to avoid alienating Azerbaijan and its close ally Turkey, both of which have risen in strategic importance for the Kremlin since the start of the Ukraine war last year. Calling on the big protector, Russia in Armenia's case, each time conflict flared was simply unsustainable, he argued. Inside Azerbaijan's internationally recognized borders but controlled by its ethnic Armenian population, Nagorno-Karabakh has been the scene of two wars since the collapse of the Soviet Union, with Russia stepping in on both occasions to guarantee its security. In a speech the same day, Putin claimed that Russia could do little in Nagorno-Karabakh after Armenia recognized it as Azerbaijan's sovereign territory earlier this year.
This post received a score of 6,300, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
But you can probably rely on Russia to invade you, so there's that.
Yup. RIP Armenia. Azerbaijan is free to partition them now.
Russia already refused to support them when they were attacked as per their treaty. Russia's indifference isn't new.
Russia didn't see any land to immediately grab. There was nothing in it for them.
Now is as good a time as any to speak truth.
It's not like they are living in fear of Russia anymore. Imagine finding out that the person bullying you hits like a wet noodle.
Gets beat up by a much weaker and smaller guy.
Like hurricane choke slamming the big show.
They never protected you. They only were waiting until the best time to invade you.
Yep. Russia was happy to prop up groups that could be used as a weapon against their regional rivals. In the 19th and early 20th century, the presence of oppressed Christians in the Ottoman Empire meant they could tap into that as a way to weaken the Ottomans. The Ottomans then saw anyone who was Armenian as a potential enemy, and responded with a genocide. Once the Ottoman Empire crumbled and the Soviet Union rose, they absorbed Armenia. Russia and Armenians have certainly had common enemies over the years, but sharing an enemy doesn't mean you have a genuine friendship.
No nation has friends, only interests. Charles de Gaulle.
Lots of nations have friends. Just not Russia. The idea that New Zealand and Australia only cooperate due to geopolitical realpolitik competition, or that Finland and Sweden are just waiting for the right chance to strike at each other, is absurd. You also have countries like Romania and Moldova who see themselves as one people who have been forcibly divided, or you could point to the strong ties that bind the Baltic states. Some countries only work together due to common enemies, while other countries have partnerships so deep that they almost could be considered one nation. De Gaulle was wrong.
There's a reason Charles de Gaulle is the most overrated political figure of the 20th century.
Ronald Reagan would like a word. I wonder what gave that away.
I thought that was obvious the first time they ignored the mutual defense request.
You have to sympathize with Armenia in this case. It's not like they've had any better choices in allies over the last century.
And in the last 500 years, the only country they could trust for help was Russia. That must cause some emotional damage.
Well, it's not a newly opened wound. Russia left them hanging last time they were attacked. Shocking news.
The man needs to examine the map. His nation is literally caught between Azerbaijan and Turkey, or between a rock and a hard place.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.